Before tomatoes ever defined Italian cooking, the rules were set by the Roman Empire. For my final project, I analyzed the deep Roman influence on Italian foodways, including the massive impact of Greek culture within Rome itself. To trace these ancient connections, I'm recreating lagane, one of the oldest recorded forms of pasta in the world. My research begins with the dough. It requires only semolina flour and water. This simplicity highlights the economic backbone of the Roman Empire, the Mediterranean triad of olive oil, wine, and wheat. While we often view Italian cuisine through the lens of its modern unification, my findings suggest its roots lie here, in the grain trade of ancient Rome. This dough represents the transition from simple grain porridges to the structured cuisine that defined Roman culture. By working the water and flour together, I'm creating a durable dough capable of holding its shape, though we must let it rest for around 30 minutes to become workable, ensuring that our lagane will be tender enough to eat, but sturdy enough to hold the sauce and the flavor. Make sure to wrap it in plastic wrap, and while the gluten develops, I'm going to start preparing our chickpeas. Legumes were the essential protein for the Roman masses. The most compelling evidence for this dish comes from the Roman poet Horace in the 1st century BC. In his satire writings, he specifically describes wandering the Roman market and looking forward to going home to a bowl of lagane and chickpeas. It serves as a primary source proof that this comfort food has existed for over 2,000 years. I'm infusing olive oil with garlic, rosemary, and chili. While Roman cuisine is often remembered for exotic fermented fish sauces like garum, my research highlights that the rural peasant diet relied on these exact aromatics. This part of the process demonstrates the continuity of Italian foodways. The flavor profile hasn't shifted. What tasted good to a Roman citizen in 35 BC still tastes good to us today. Now for the lagane. The etymology is crucial here. The word comes from the Greek word laganon, referring to a thin sheet of dough. Unlike modern fettuccine, lagane are cut into wide, irregular ribbons. My research argues that this shape acts as the evolutionary link between ancient flatbreads and modern pasta. It was fried or boiled, bridging the gap between baking and boiling grains. I'm adding tomatoes here to create a sauce, a modern ingredient the Romans didn't have. However, the technique of using starchy pasta water to bind the chickpeas to the wide noodles is timeless. This dish illustrates how the Roman culinary framework was strong enough to adapt to new ingredients from the Americas centuries later, while keeping the identity of the original dish intact. By creating lagane, my research concludes that modern Italian cuisine is a direct legacy of the Roman Empire. It is a history written not just in stone, but in semolina and chickpeas. Thanks for watching, and make sure to share this dish with your friends and family.